So, a novice tries to make epic game music. This video has been in limbo for a while now. I have been apprehensive about posting it. What I had originally made did not feel genuine. I was trying to make the video more useful, but in the process, I'd made it less authentic. So I'm going to try something different. Let me know if this video works or not. I've done some game jams, but I've never tried to include music or sound in my games. Now, I have created digital music before. That is to say, I made one song 3 years ago. I've also made a bunch of music snippets as well. As it turns out, all these musical snippets were still sitting on my computer, along with a handful of instruments and presets I had collected. I wanted to be able to sit down and write a song. I found that very difficult. I don't understand the medium the same way I do with art. When I'm sketching something, I just understand what the next step is. While I'm trying to create music, I could tell when something needed change, but I just didn't know what the next step was, and so it was hard to feel like I was making any progress. My first idea was to borrow knowledge from my artistic side and to limit my palette. So here I'm trying to pick a set of notes that I will stick to throughout the song. I was also experimenting with melodies as well. At this point, I remember wanting a MIDI keyboard while doing this. My parents had one I used to use, and I'm kind of missing it right now. Some of you might ask what software I'm using. That'd be LMMS. I use it because it's free and I've already climbed the learning curve. When I was first learning it, I remember being frustrated with all the dials, menus, filters, and submenus. I remember wanting more visual information to help me understand what was going on and what was happening when I changed settings. I also remember spending an absurd amount of time tweaking every single instrument before I even started making the song. This time I need to avoid that pitfall. Though in that process I did learn what most of the settings do in general. I did browse around a little and I did look at common DAWs musicians use, and honestly I don't think the learning curve on LMS is bad at all. Coming back to it, I definitely can recommend it. If I was to give advice to my past self, I would say pick a preset instrument, don't change the settings until you have written enough song to have the context. A sound feels different played by itself than it does within a song. I'd also tell my past self to download some other instruments. I'll leave a video that has a list of instruments that you can download from someone who knows a lot more about LMS than I do. I spent some time trying to make a chord progression that fit with the melody. Eventually I just ditched the chord progression and just went with a single note for each chord, air quotes. So yeah, I made a melody and chords, and they sound awful together. So I found this discouraging, and I started flipping through my old projects. Some of my old snippets sounded pretty good. I felt like my past self had just beaten me. Oh man, I suck. And so my disappointment grew, infecting my morale. I did manage to finish the song, but it was a total struggle bus. After this, I started 4 new projects trying to get something that I liked, and I didn't like any of them. So I felt defeated. I couldn't make something that sounded better than I used to make. I was ruined. I guess the answer to my question was no. A rusty noob cannot make epic music. That's how I felt. I could, however, possibly finish one of my old pieces. So I opened my old projects. I was going to finish the song. I picked my favorite sample and I started working. So yeah, that's what happened. I have mixed feelings. It was a success and a failure. But a novice can make epic music. But it's hard, it takes a while, and I made some songs that suck, and those got discouraged, and trying to make one epic song was probably the wrong way to go about it. I'll probably have more to say about that in the future. So yeah, I like it. I'm going to continue making music, but like I also need a MIDI keyboard, or that's my excuse anyway. And I'm gonna try not to leave videos in limbo for so long. This content was a little different than what I normally do, so leave a like if it was good, if you liked it. And that. Bye!